Good morning to each and every one of you. You had a little interruption just now. I am not too sure what happened with the signal just now. It should not have gone off, but because our readings look fairly good right here. Lots of wind. We came out this side this morning to show you a beautiful sunrise, but we're going to watch a beautiful daybreak instead because the Sahara dust is not cooperating with us. A lot of dust clouds around this morning, but we can still bring you the beauty of this side of the island for sure. Good morning to each and every one of you, and sorry for the interruption just now. I'm not too sure what happened to our meditation time this morning, but that went down due to signal strength, I'm assuming. But we're going to continue from here, and we're going to go forward the day. As we always say, you can hit the reset button and start all over again. So this is a typical example of what I talk about and refer to every morning. Don't let anything phase you. We start it all over again. We start and we stop again. So good morning to each and every one of you again, and welcome to the beautiful island of Barbados. I think it's a perfect place to say the serenity prayer, and the timing is absolutely perfect as well. So here we go. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Your will, not ours, be done. Amen. Conditions this morning, most definitely challenging. Not sure where the wind picked up from. It was actually nice and calm when I first got here at 5:30. It was beautiful out here. Light winds, or lighter winds I should say. Most definitely we had a really good signal strength here, so that was a little bit of a shocker just now, but you know it is beyond our control. We're going to do what we can do. If we do get another break in transmission, you know, I'll try my best to come back on. If not, another day. It's supposed to be that way. Everything is as it's supposed to be. We say that all the time, and then we find ourselves in situations where awkward or uncomfortable or not the way we want them. We start to panic and get all frustrated and upset and angry and confused and stressed out. Well, our serenity prayer tells us do not do that, because that is not what we're supposed to do, because these are things that are beyond our control. And it's very easy to say exactly what I just said. However, to practice it is a different story. So serenity prayer until everything levels out. And as I always said, stop and start again. You can always stop your day and restart it. Reset that button and go again. Do not let your day be spoiled by one or two events. Try and get over them and move forward. I'm certainly going to do that, and I do it on a daily basis. I try. Sometimes I fail, sometimes I succeed, but all the time is with the serenity prayer. So we're up in an area known as Cove Bay. We're bordering many parishes here, so Mr. Hunt, I can leave that for you. But as you can see, up here is completely different from anywhere else on the coastline, on the south side or the east side of the island, or even up to this section, all very different. Up here is a lot of chalk, a lot of clay. So all of the cliffs out here, very, very loose. What you'll see just below us are rocks, solid coral stones that have fallen out of the cliff when it has slipped. You can see one of the recent slips in that area directly in front of us, the center of the camera. Now I always say that when you're coming to places like this, please do not walk to the side of the cliff because all underneath it is all eaten out. I'll show you that a little further on if I can find some good examples of it. But you must be careful up here. Please do not go close to the cliff to get that photo shot. If you want, go and look for a secure area to do so at an angle to take what you're trying to get, but don't go and look over the cliff itself. Now I do have on a gimbal, so I'm going to show you what will happen if you get close to the side here. I'm going to extend out my arms. Trust me, I am not close to the side of this cliff. You can see clearly all the rocks that have dropped off over the years here. Now this cliff just gets eaten away continuously by the natural elements out here. Rough sea conditions, winds also play its toll as well. And if you get heavy rains, again, that also weakens up the cliff area as well. So please, just be careful. It's a beautiful, beautiful morning here. Don't mind we can't see the sun at this moment, but we can certainly see where it's coming from. And we do know that we're being blessed with a new day to start over, a new day to wipe that slate clean and start your story from fresh. Remember, there's nothing wrong with pausing, taking your eraser, rubbing off a little bit of the story and going again. So let's go on with positivity this morning. Pico Tenerife, just in the point of the camera there in the center. Beautiful, beautiful area. We actually haven't done the live between Pico Tenerife and Morgan Lewis Beach, and that's because the signal down there is pretty bad. I walked it twice since I last spoke to you about going down in there. I was waiting on my hydrologist, but he had his own journey and I have my own journey as well, but we're going to do it together. I was able to find a few spots that had an okay signal strength, like right up at the very top itself, overlooking the Cove Bay there in the center of the camera. That's a great spot there, you get a good signal. However, you start to descend between there and the Pico Tenerife itself, you start to lose signal, and then it picks back up again as you approach the ridges overlooking the Cattle Wash area or the East Coast area, because you're picking up the Cattle Wash repeater from there. So we're going to do that, but we're not going to be able to do the entire thing. So what I'll do is I'll probably cover that in a 4K, like what I did at Maycox Bay, because the scenery along there is breathtaking. If you think only a train line has the scenery over by the Martins Bay and stuff, that is another thought coming. We're going to show you that in later times. You can see clearly the makeup of the cliff here. You can see there's no solid coral mass. If there is, like that little peak there, let's say about 20 feet down from the actual level area itself, that is solid coral. But that is like a big boulder that is inside all of this loose area. So that will definitely come out over time. You know, I'm not talking about tomorrow or the week after or the month after. I'm talking about over a period of time as the weather starts to impact it. A lot of trees have gone down here over the years. It is a very dry and desolate spot. So you won't find a lot of greenery. You have lots and lots of cows out here and sheep as well. And sometimes you do get, when you have heavy rainfalls, because of the type of surface, it tends to hold the water. There's a couple of ponds in this area, but all of them are dry at the moment. If you have been to Barbados, and you've been on the safari tours and you've been out in Mario Williams, etc., you know you would have done these cliffs here. You would have driven these. But what I would like to recommend is, if you do have the opportunity to rent a vehicle, now a car can get out here, you just take your time. That's if it's not raining. If you've had any rain at all within 3 or 4 days of your adventures out here, please do not come out here. Out here is like glue. You will get stuck up immediately unless you have a beast like me. And even so, you still dance all wrong and you're still sometimes a little skeptical about it because it gets extremely difficult. Beautiful, beautiful chalk cliffs. Absolutely stunning views out here this morning. Now, a lot of people say that Cove and Bay don't go together because they're two opposite things, but this is called Cove Bay, and this name originates from the name of the plantation that was here, Cove Plantation, and this is the bay. So a lot of people call it Cove Bay. I know that there's some people still refer to it as the original name called Gaze Cove, but this is Cove Bay, and you will see all the signage, all the maps indicate it as Cove Bay, and all of the signage coming in here will also have Cove Bay. So I don't want to confuse you with the other name, but the traditional name and correct name of it is Gaze Cove. Absolutely beautiful out here. Today we're doing a lot of locking of the device, so if we're not as smooth as we normally are, you will understand why, because out here is very windy this morning. Alright, so I've made this point here, and I'd like to do a 360 from this location. I know we did one when we started off, just after our serenity prayer, but I'm going to do so again for those that missed that this morning. Remember, your comments that were on the first vlog have gone, but I will hopefully be able to merge them for the YouTube later on and just splice them in, so you at least get the scenery of the little bit of meditation we had this morning. Beautiful, beautiful rays. Just check this out. Oh my goodness, how beautiful. This sky this morning is gorgeous. May not be the traditional blue sky, but the cloud formations, stunning. I'm gonna actually give you a 360 in the sky here. You can see what Barbados looks like from this angle, and then I'll give you another one coming the opposite direction. And this time I'm going to give it to you silent, I hope. So we can do it 7:20. So get ready to applaud, please, because if I make this here, trust me, I gotta go and seek some tongue medication later on today, because I'm going to be biting my tongue not to speak. Here we go. right, excuse me, this break is not for insanity. It's called releasing the pressure like a pressure cooker. Blah, 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 blah. Covered. Good now. Energy gone, tongue energy clear. Ready to move on again. All right, so you'll see lots of sargassum. I will tell you, the smell down in here this morning definitely is acidic, especially when you were over on that cliff. I was over there this morning checking signal strengths. I was under that cliff and it completely disappeared. If not, my intentions were to start you at the top and walk you down here, but the signal does drop out. I don't want that to happen. Although it did happen, even although I had a good signal strength. Anyhow, that's the way life is. It's just something that technology and stuff that goes on. We don't have any control over it. Serenity prayer. What a beautiful, beautiful area. This is probably, I would say, one of the most picturesque spots in the island for me. There are lots and lots of beautiful vantage points and stuff, but just the sheer cliffs out here and stuff. You will see these cliffs when you're up on the east coast and you're looking northward. You will see these white cliffs here. They stand out, very, very visible, and this is where we are. Now, a lot of you that don't take the off-road tours and take or rent cars and stuff will come to Barbados, go and see Little Bay, and then not come here. I would like to strongly recommend that if you are able to and you have the finances to rent a vehicle, car or Jeep, and come over into Little Bay, park, and then walk northward as far as River Bay, and if you want beyond, or walk to the southeast side, which will bring you right over here to where we are, which will bring you through landlocked, etc. The scenery along this cliff, these cliffs, stunning, absolutely stunning. The feeling you get out here is serenity and peace. You will probably only meet one or two fishermen for the entire duration of your walk, but it is an area that I would definitely recommend walking. I can only bring you and show you in the vlogs, but you really will not get the true depth of peace that you can find out here. That is for sure. All right, sun is coming up, and I just want to give you a little look at that again. I also want to say good morning to you, because you know me, this is show off time. So good morning to each and every one of you. It was a long drive this morning. When I left home, I knew where I was coming. The intentions were to come here a little bit. My driver, of course, knows, because she has to start off collecting you all from different locations and she has to know where she's going. I don't want to be spinning like a top, so she's aware of it. But on the way over, when I saw the clouds and stuff, I started saying, oh my goodness, it's going to be a cloudy day. And then I said, you know what, it doesn't make a difference. We're coming to one of the most beautiful places in Barbados. I'm going to be sharing the Daybreak somewhere that you probably have never been for Daybreak. You've probably be driven through here if you've had access to it on tours and stuff, but you have never experienced this, I am sure. Well, I shouldn't say you have never. It is unlikely that you've experienced this here. Very few people have at this time of morning. It is just stunning and worth the drive for sure. But I would recommend to try and do it on a sunny day. But again, with the sun coming up, you gotta leave home real early. This morning I left home at about 10 to 5. Shoot, I shouldn't have said that. You know, you could calculate how long it took me to get here to half past, setting up and walking around. So yeah, anyhow, I left home early. So you have to do the same thing, because the sun right now is coming up. If there was no cloud, I would say at approximately, I think 5:26 or so, you start to really see the pre-dawn disappear and the sunlight start to come up just after that. It's going to be a beautiful day on the rock. Absolutely stunning day on the rock. Again, we are faced with some haze. Again, that's nature. But one thing for sure is it cannot take away from the beauty of this area. This was, as I think I may have mentioned it before, and I might have done it today, but as I tell you all, I don't have an old brain, because I'm a young fella, but I do have a well-used brain. So, used and abused brain. So right now I may tell you something that I've told you before, which I always do anyhow, and no one usually complains. But this was one of the most, I don't even want to pan the camera, but it's real Barbados I bring to you all. Honesty, truth, and integrity. They're the foundations of the EMC. So as you can see, trash cans have been put here, but they have not been maintained. That trash can is rotten now, and look at the garbage. People just still drop the garbage all around, assuming that it's going to get collected. So that's an eyesore, but we're not going to paint any illusions here for you. We're giving you the truth of what we see in Barbados, as we always do, whether that be positive or negative, because if we see enough negatives and we make enough positive energy, we will get them corrected. So if you know anyone who has any kind of contacts with up in this property here, please ask them to do a little beautifying for me, or ask them just to come and get a skip and clean up a little bit. It is just too beautiful to have trash cans like that and litter laying all around. Absolutely beautiful. Was the most popular picnic spot. One of the most. The reason why it was not the most is the distance you have to travel to get here. Here on River Bay were the ultimate picnic spots. You would have found buses, B-buses, minibuses, vans, cars, everything you can imagine. Any mode of transportation, people used to come here by and have big picnics. In those days that I'm talking about, there were a lot more trees. Definitely a lot more trees here. A lot have gone down over time because of the rough elements and stuff up here. But you used to have tons and tons of picnics here on River Bay. Both of these places, especially River Bay, is impacted tremendously by the sargassum weed that we've been experiencing. River Bay never seems to get clear. They use a bulldozer down there, they clear it up. We have heavy rains, it washes out. We have big north swells, it pushes it further inland. But River Bay, unfortunately, is still undergoing in the impacts of this sargassum. As you can see, it's very dense down in here, but in the water itself coming in, we don't see any mats. So that is a good positive sign. I have seen here last year actually, and years before, where this entire bay here would have been orange, and you would have seen the orange golden mats out in the sea coming in. I'm talking about dense, not just a little float, thick, looking almost like solid land. Beautiful spot to come and relax. I would say though, just be careful up here. You know, it's not, when we talk about this here, we talk about it just to be cautious, because up here is a little bit lonely out in these cliffs and stuff. So if you're coming here, don't come and sleep on a long chair or something. I wouldn't recommend that. I have seen a couple that was here for an entire day that did exactly that, just where we are right now, and just took sun for the entire day. I saw them go in when I was en route going in Bashba direction, and then reversing and coming back. Now, when I used to travel nowhere on my vacations, I used to never travel from Barbados. It was 10 years I didn't leave this island. I used to drive everywhere on my vacation. That was my holiday. So sometimes I would go in a clockwise direction, sometimes in an anti-clockwise direction, and sometimes in a clockwise and then an anti-clockwise. Honestly, in one day I used to go around the island twice and stuff. I had a beach buggy at one time, man, roof off and flying. Isn't that stunning with that glow behind those casuarinas? Absolutely beautiful. Now you will notice that there are some tracks. I should say, I hope you will notice there's some tracks down below here that go along the actual base of the cliff itself. A lot of fishermen and people. You can see a gentleman making his way up there actually in the distance, just like quarter way up the hill. You can actually see him walking up there. So people do go down the tracks down here and walk along the edge and do some fishing, and some actually go in the sea here as well between the rocks. So don't be alarmed if you see someone just appear, but obviously have your alerts up and be cautious, because people can appear on you without you even knowing. I mean, if we were back on that cliff over there, for example, by where the war wagon is that you can't see at the moment, that's a typical Beijing direction. Jeez, I am so Beijing then. And you know, if you were over there on that cliff, you would not see that gentleman coming up until he was on top of the cliff. So you would think you're by yourself, and bam, it would not be that way. Lots of a lot of footpaths and stuff going up in the hills as well. You can see them making their way up there. Very well used tracks as well. Beautiful natural Barbados. You know, we were yesterday in an area on the south coast where there are multiple high rises. Someone actually said yesterday that they couldn't understand how I said it was beautiful, these buildings, because they're monstrosities. Well, I think everyone knows that. Well, two things about me. One is that I object to any building that goes higher than tree level, because I think that should be maintained. That was a law here once, and it should be maintained. And it's not a political statement. It's just me and my preferences. Two is, I find the beauty in everything, because God tells me that I should respect, appreciate, and be grateful for everything around me. So if I see a multi-story hotel that's gone up, I can't go and knock it down. So I have to look at it and find the beauty that I can find, just like anything else in life. If I come to an area that has a lot of erosion, I still find the beauty in everything that's there. So if you hear me refer to something that sounds contradicting, it's because I have to find the beauty in what surrounds me. That is what I've been asked to do in life, and I've been asked to bring that beauty to all of you as well. Right here, we could say, oh, horrible looking sargassum, looks horrible. We can say, look at that beautiful golden mat. I don't know what purpose it serves, but I'm sure there's a reason for it, because everything in life has a reason. Lots of haze today. Everything is pretty orange, as you can see over there, but the sun is really being blocked off this morning and filtered out, but we can still see the beauty. You must wonder if it's a racetrack down here, some kind of big oval track. No, this is actually one of the 4x4 adventure runs. When this is full of water, these guys will come down here. You will just automatically come off of the rise and down into the dip and start to panic. It's all a part of the game, and then they will take you round and round and round until you get dizzy. I do that in some roundabouts here. There are 1 or 2 roundabouts in this island that I do not go by unless I go around them a couple of times, making many of the people that travel with me dizzy and their head is spinning. Talked to this gentleman over here in the high vis earlier on this morning. He said to me, "You better go up on your shirt because the mosquitoes going to maul you." I had to tell him straight, the mosquitoes don't mess with me. My blood must be horrible. So, I walk around, there's guys that live down here that have problems with mosquitoes, and they've come over here, not a bite. Actually, I didn't even feel any of them bump me, so they must be like off me by a distance. They must have some kind of force field on me. Out here is just stunning. Usually there are a lot more cows. I saw them feeding them this morning further down. I saw them moving them around as well. As you can see up here is a little bit brown, so they're probably having a little closer to where they can water and feed them. But up here usually has a lot more cows than this here, and also a lot of sheep as well. This road you can see is well traveled. As I said, it is one of the very popular 4x4 areas on the island, whether it be for the commercial or for private. A lot of people come out here. I mean, after all, why would you not visit this if you know about it? So hint, hint, if you have a car, come and check it out. Again, just be cautious. If it's wet, don't make that mistake. Please stay at a little bay where it has a different surface. You can actually go and see the cliffs and stuff there. Beautiful hills. Now, I like to just draw a reference to what we're seeing directly in front of us. These cliffs would have been similar to the cliffs that we were just looking at. So as Barbados has risen out of the ocean and it's a coral and it continues to grow, we will have this same kind of multi-layers going through. One of the best places that I have seen that I could identify with it is at Harrison's Cave. They have a map that's graded and has in all of the elevations and stuff on it. I don't know if it's still there because I haven't been to Harrison's Cave for about 5 years, so it may not be there, but it was one of their main displays. It probably will be. But this is similar to what it was, and to show you that, I can't really see it from here too well, so I don't know if you can. There's a rock, or a couple of rocks down in distance, massive rocks. They're identical to the one that you will find at Soup Bowl and High Rock. So you will see that is a kind of elevation, and as we grow up, the stronger mass stays there, the weaker mass gets eaten out, as we've seen on these cliffs. And then this is what Barbados does. So you're just seeing the grades of Barbados, and this is a lovely place to see that. Many of these cliffs here, as well along the eastern side of the island and the southeastern side, have big caves in them. And the reason is, again, the weaker matter is being eaten out, and the just remaining would be the solid matter, which would be the coral stone. So you can find a lot of caves. You'll be walking in this area and not realize that there are caves in some of that cliff. So again, look beyond what you're seeing if you're exploring these areas that are secluded and way away from everything else. Just remember that what you're seeing is beautiful, but you have to look beyond that and keep your caution up, please. I do ask you to do that. I want you to have a peaceful and happy vacation. I'm not saying anything is going to happen. It is very unlikely that it will, but all of the elements are here, so please just bear that in mind. It's a beautiful view. Again, I want to show you from here. Oh, by the way, driver, you told me yesterday it was raining by you, so you couldn't wash your vehicle. So I'm leaving this one for you as well, so you can get all the practice when you come down. I got, as I said, a brand new bucket, a brand new chamois, and a brand new sponge just waiting on you. And I'm going to keep them in their plastic until you come. So when you are serving me your nitro coffee, I will have something to serve you. All right, now that gentleman came up, a goat trap that's just under these trees here, on this foliage area itself. A lot of this cliff has dropped off. As you can see, all this here is a new shear. I would say, when I say new, I'm talking about last 5-10 years. Okay, you can actually see the cracks that are starting to form along this cliff area. So you may think it is safe. It is not safe. Please do not walk on these sections close to this cliff. Now where I'm walking, I am about 8 feet away from the side of the cliff, and I'm looking for cracks as I walk. That's why you don't see a lot of your comments, because I'm always looking to be cautious where I walk, you know. So you can see this shear off. I used to drive on top of here, I would say a good 5 or 6 feet further out than where this is right now when I started to explore this island. And that was only an estimation. It could be more than that, it could be a little less than that. But I just tell you the amount of shear that has gone on here. A lot of shear. So please be careful up here. I'm just going to take you here and show you this little section over here. Show you the different types of sargassum and the age of it. You can see it. You can't smell the acidity. I can get whiffs of it now. It's really down in this base section, and the wind is all coming from my butt really, so it's very hard to smell it. But you can see the older sargassum here, the colors itself, you can see the difference, and then you can see the new float that's coming in. So that stuff that's down here is definitely setting off its odor for sure this morning. So this is the shared area. You can see it's very deceiving. You would want to walk out to the edge here and get a picture, and you know, if you do that, you could find yourself on that kind of crap. So just be careful. To each and every one of you, I want to thank you for joining me over here this morning on this beautiful side of the island. It is a joy to always bring the beauty of Barbados to you. It is a joy to have you in you know, along the company of you along with me. It's a joy to have all of our family come together and start the morning with peace and happiness. You know, we all face challenges every day. It doesn't happen today and not tomorrow. Every day we'll have challenges, some way bigger than others, some more devastating mentally, spiritually, emotionally than others. But they're all big challenges. And as God tells us, they will pass. They will pass. All you need to do is to surround yourself with positive, loving, kind people and ask for help. You know how many times I have seen people go through life, take their lives, or do something ridiculous because they just were too big to ask for help. We all need help sometime in life, so please, if you have any stress that you find yourself in a difficult situation, reach out. There's someone there that will always help you. You just need to ask for the help. Don't be ashamed. You're not too big a person to ask for help. We're not expected to go through this life alone. If not, we wouldn't have people around us. That is the honest truth. Is the people around us that God has put there to help us get through what challenges we have to face, and to also show them and encourage them as well, because they're going to have the same stressful situations. So from me to you, from our care team, from our Munchkins, from our Hall of Famers, from each and every one of our individual members, to everyone that's on here this morning, I wish you all a wonderful day. Remember, tomorrow is an off day, not a rest day, driver. Tomorrow is an off day, so we will not have a live broadcast, but I will surely bring you some kind of beauty of Barbados in one form or another. So until then, I pray you all have a fantastic time. I pray that everything goes well for you. Remember, you can stop and restart at any time. We did that this morning. Anyone that was on from the beginning would have seen we lost complete signal and then we restarted. So these things happen in life. That is just a typical example of what we're going to face today. So hit that reset button and go again. I love you all. Please take care of yourselves. Be safe. Be kind. Be loving. And most of all, love your neighbors as you would love yourself. You can't get respect unless you give respect. You can't get love unless you feel love and give love. And you cannot have care from people that you don't care about. So therefore you have to care about them. All starts with you though. Love, care, respect, and take care of yourself. Have an amazing day. I'm going to leave you with this little bit of a photo op. You can enjoy saying goodbye to everyone. I will see you all on Thursday, God's Spare Life. In the meantime, be happy, enjoy life, be blessed, and be cool. And most of all, be grateful, because you could have a lot less than what you have today. Have a great day, everyone.